Hello friends, welcome back to Mimi's World. Today I have two DIYs that are super easy and super cute. So I can't wait to get started. Let's go. First one will be two styles of topiaries, and you'll need some wooden dowels from Dollar Tree and an assortment of pumpkins. I use 3 small pumpkins, 3 medium-sized pumpkins, and 3 large pumpkins. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the medium-sized pumpkin, we're going to pull off the little stem on it and peel off the velvet covering. I'm going to take one of these messenger bags, they're burlap, and I'm going to cut off the straps and cut it open so I can use it as a piece of fabric. I decided to use one of these little bags because they are so versatile in the fact that they are burlap, but you can use any kind of fabric really. So here I get it open and I'm cutting off the top edge, trimming it real quick, and here I'm going to attempt to fold the fabric. So first I'll have to cut off the excess piece, so I just kind of guesstimate it. It doesn't have to be perfect. So now I attempt to fold the fabric into the hole, shoving all the contents inside, and you just have to play with it a little bit to get it to close up, to get it all in the hole. But definitely use hot glue. Hot glue is your best friend, and so use hot glue to help hold it up. Just remember, the back doesn't have to be perfect. The back most likely won't show anyway, depending on how you display it, but this way works for me. So I get it all tucked in there, and so now I'm going to take one of those wooden dowels and I'm going to try and press all the fabric deep in there so it won't come out. So I'll put a little bit of hot glue on the stick, on the dowel, and I'll push it in there, but I'm not leaving the stick in there. I'm just using it to get the glue down in there deep. So now I'm going to use some apple barrel paint and the nutmeg color, and I'm going to paint the dowel. The dowel will be my stem of my topiary. So I'm painting the dowel. It doesn't take long. It doesn't have to be perfect either. You know, stems out in nature, they're not perfect in color. They're shaded and the color varies, and just brush on the paint real quick and it's good. So now what I do is I use this dowel. It's not even dry. I don't even wait for it to dry, and I go ahead and stick it in my big pumpkin, which I lost the footage, but I had pulled off the stem off that also, and that stem's easier to pull off than the velvet covered pumpkins. So I put a little bit of hot glue in the hole and I stick the dowel that's not even dry yet. I just go ahead and stick it on there, and now I attempt to finish painting the top portion. And now you see my phone, it kind of topples a little bit. I was like, oh, earthquake. No earthquakes. We live in Florida, we don't have earthquakes. We get hurricanes. But anyway, I deviate. So here is where I've got it all painted, and now I'm taking one of these floral garlands, and I love using these because they have a good variety of leaves and those berries, and some have gourds on them also. So I go ahead and snip off a piece that I feel that would look nice for my pumpkin, and so I press it in there just to kind of accentuate it and embellish it a little bit. So I take a few of those and work with it and snip off what I need and snip off what I don't need, and you know, you can basically decorate it as you like, whatever colors you like. And I was gonna say, I was actually considering painting these pumpkins white and making it a neutral, like a farmhouse look, but then I thought, well, I'll just do the traditional for now, because this is gonna be a gift, and the lady I'm giving these to, she likes the traditional colors, but I may do some white ones later. So anyway, so this first style topiary is going to be a 3-stack topiary, and I don't know if you've seen those, but those are very in right now, and You can find them at Walmart. You can find them at any store that sells decor. So there, I put this, and then all I did was hot glue them together after I put all the embellishments on there. And so the middle one is done back there. You can see it. It got done really quick. So here I'm on to the second type of topiary, which is the one with the stem. So I go ahead and get my X-Acto knife and I start cutting a little hole in the back so I can get it onto the stem without any issues. And so you're just gonna place it on there and put a little pressure and push down and get it down halfway down or so to where you would like it. And again, I'm gonna go ahead and go in and start embellishing these pumpkins just to make it look pretty and, you know, festive and all that good stuff. Make it look like fall. So here I'm just using some hot glue, and I'm making another little hole with my X-Acto knife on the topper pumpkin. Now these topper pumpkins, they come from Dollar Tree already, all ready to go, real pretty with the sunflower on top. And so I pushed that one down in there, and so basically it's pretty much done. It's just the embellishing process. So here I'm having a little difficulty with that sprig of foliage, and so I'm having to use a little bit of my friendly hot glue. Remember I said hot glue is your best friend. And so I'm putting little dabs here and there, and it's trying to hold down on it, but just have to keep holding it. But it finally dries up. I end up turning the fan on to help dry up everything quicker, and that always helps. So if you see things moving, that's because the fan is on, and that really helped. So here I'm embellishing the bottom pumpkin. Doesn't take me long, just adding, you know, a couple sprigs here and there. Again, you know, however you like, whatever your taste is. So here I decided to take this hula skirt. Oh, and I have this pot that I had from summertime, and so I decided to take this hula skirt and I'm going to use it as the hay. But instead of hay, that is so messy, I'm going to use this hula skirt. So I'm cutting it in half so I can have one half for one topiary and the other half for the other topiary. So I cut that in half and set that aside. And so now I'm just taking a middle portion and I'm cutting off maybe, I don't know, 3-4 inches off the top, and I'm just using the bottom portion as like a nesting you know, piece of hay down on the pot. And so I add hot glue. Oh, and by the way, the pot had some brown paper that I kind of filled it with, so I'd have some kind of filler. So anyway, so I keep working with the glue and with this raffia that's really a grass hula skirt. And so then I place my topiary on it, kind of working with the raffia, and you see the fan blowing. But anyway, start working with it, keep working with it, and keep hot gluing, and you'll know when it's secure enough, when it's on there well. And then I go ahead and embellish it a little bit more. I felt like it needed a couple little more pieces of leaves, so I add that on there. And yeah, for the most part, it's done. I like it. Okay, on to DIY number 2. It's a gather sign with a base. So I take one of these little decors that this one actually was from last year, and it says gather on it. And I kind of hated to paint over the top, but I'm taking some of my apple barrel paint, the color nutmeg, and begin painting it. Then I realized, oh my goodness, this stuff is so thin. I'm gonna be here forever painting this. I'll probably do 5 coats of this stuff, and I almost got done, and I thought, no, let me just get my Waverly chalk paint. So I just go ahead and decide to get the Waverly chalk paint in the color truffle. And so I grab that and I go ahead and begin painting that little piece of decor, and that does a much better job. Oh my goodness, it's like one good coat and it's where I like it, it's where I need it. So I keep painting this, and the little brush I'm using was also from Dollar Tree, and I felt like it really helped to do a really good job. I didn't get any paint on the sides or anything. Everything got covered very well and very neat and tidy. I just took my time and got it done nice and thoroughly. And as the fan is blowing, yeah, you guessed it, the paint dried so quick. I love that. It's just a little hack. Get your fan going. So now I decide to take the gather sign. Remember, we covered up the previous gather message on it, but now I'm going to replace it with this 3D gather sign from Dollar Tree. And so I began to paint it with that same apple barrel paint, and I noticed that with this particular surface, the apple barrel paint was sufficient in coverage, and so I was happy with it, and so I continued with it, and I just worked my way, took my time, and got it all painted. I did leave the inside portions and the top portions bare, and I'll show you why later. It to me, it gave it like a shadowy effect, like a more of a 3D effect. So you really can't see it on this particular angle, but when I get done with it and I place it on the display on the little base that I just made, you'll notice what I'm talking about, and I like that look. And again, if you do this, you can paint this white, you can paint this orange, burgundy, whatever fall color you'd like. These fall colors they're just my favorite. I love the different browns, they're so rich. I love the burgundies, I love the dark yellows, and even the greens, and even the oranges. I was considering painting this a pumpkin orange, and if you look on my desk there on the right, there's my truffle chalk paint in the color pumpkin. I was considering doing that, but I just went ahead and took care of the rest of that apple barrel paint that I had there. I didn't want it to go to waste, and as I was working on it, I thought, I really like the way this looks. So, sometimes you have a plan A, and sometimes as you're creating, you can change your mind. You can do something different. It's okay. It's part of the creation process, I think. So here I just finish up, getting done quickly, and again with the fan blowing, yeah, you guessed it, this paint was like dry quick. And I think it also helped that the surface is that MDF particle board stuff. So yeah, it's all nice and dry. So I placed it on the base, and it fits pretty perfect. I just couldn't figure out which side I like better, because they both look pretty good. I was trying to get the best side, but they both look pretty good, so I just turned it around and placed it on there. And I'm gonna secure it with these jumbling tower blocks, and so I grabbed the darker ones to go with the darker rich tones of brown, and I hot glue the side and the front of each of these tumbling tower blocks, and I place it on the back. So this will help secure the sign to the base, and then secure the sign to the block for support. So I felt like it had a dual purpose, and so at first I started off with 3 of the tumbling tower blocks, and it seemed pretty good. But then I thought, well, you know what, let me just do one more just for extra reinforcement, because I'm gonna put this up high on a shelf. This one I'm keeping for myself. The topiaries I'm giving away, but this I'm keeping. But anyway, you see the shadowing on the top. I think it works because I colored it brown. Anyway, here I take one of these holiday garlands with like the little beaded, I don't know, like, I don't know if they're leaves or berries or what they are, but it's wired, and I love the fact that it's wired because it's so easy to use when it's wired. So I go ahead and snip off a piece. I kind of guesstimated it, and I guess I guesstimated it pretty well because it was perfect. So here I wrap it around the G to help secure it in place. I don't use any hot glue for this. And then I wrap it around the R, and I am having a little bit of a difficult time with the R just because of the way it was laying, but just use 2 hands and it'll stay. Just twist it on. And so there. And then I realized, oh my goodness, these new bows, they match the base of this decor from last year. So I just decided I've got to use one of these bows for this. So I placed the bow there on the front, on the left, and let me know, bow or no bow? I'm interested. Anyway, here is the gathering, the whole grouping, with the 3 different the two twin topiaries and the middle one, and then the gather sign up front. And thanks again for watching my video. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you enjoy these DIYs. Thanks again. See you later. Bye bye.